1. Late one evening, a certain workman happened to be returning home from a jovial feast in a distant village when he met an old friend, a man who had been dead some 10 years. "Good health, brother," said the dead man. "Good health to you, brother," the reveler replied, forgetting his friend was long dead. "Come to my house, brother," said the dead man. "Let us raise a glass or two, or 3. The two friends soon arrived at a run-down dwelling, which was apparently where the dead man lived. Soon the vodka was flowing, but eventually even the thirsty workman had had enough. "It's time for me to go home," he said. "Stay a bit. Why do you want to go now? Spend the night here with me," said the dead man. "No, brother. Don't ask. I can't stay. I've got lots to do tomorrow, so I need to get home." "Well, goodbye then." "But why walk? Take my horse. It will get you home quickly." "Thanks. My, that's a fine gray stallion," said the workman. And so he got on the stallion's back and was carried off, for it had turned into a whirlwind. But just then the rooster crowed, and the reveler passed out. And when he came to, all he could see around him were graves. And then he realized he'd been riding a tombstone. A tombstone. Giddy up! Warren here. You know, I've woken up in some strange places, but never in the graveyard. Yet. 2. Once upon a time, and back in the day, there lived in a certain village 2 young men, best friends, who regarded each other as brothers. One day they made a vow. Whoever married first was to invite his comrade to the wedding, whether the comrade was dead or alive. About a year after this, one of the young men fell ill and died. A few months later, his friend took it into his head to get married. Now, on the day of the wedding, as he went to fetch his bride, he remembered his vow, and as they drove past the graveyard, he stopped the horses, saying, "I'm going to my friend, my brother's grave. I shall ask him to come to the wedding. A right trusty friend was he to me." So he went to the grave and called aloud, dear friend, today is my wedding day, and I hereby invite you to my wedding." Suddenly the grave opened, and the dead man arose and said, "Thank you, brother. That has fulfilled your promise to me. Please step inside my humble abode, and let us raise a glass apiece in honor of your marriage." I'd love to come in, but the marriage procession is stopping outside. All the folks are waiting for me." "Hey, brother," replied the dead man, "it won't take long to toss off a glass." The bridegroom jumped into the grave. The dead man poured him a shot, and he drank it off. And 100 years passed away. Another, dear friend," said the dead man. "The first one is for thirst, the second one for flavor." The bridegroom downed the second shot, and 200 years passed away. Now, my comrade, a third shot. For death, said the dead man, and then go, in God's name, and celebrate your marriage. The bridegroom took the third shot, and 300 years passed away as the coffin lid fell and the grave closed. The bridegroom looked around. Instead of the graveyard, he found himself standing in the middle of a piece of waste ground. No road could be seen, no kinsmen, no horses. All around grew nettles and tall grass. He ran to the village, but the village wasn't the same. The houses were different, and the people were all strangers to him. He went to the priest, but the priest was different, not the man he had known. The groom told the priest about everything that had happened to him and demanded an explanation. And so the priest searched through the church records and found that 300 years before, to the very day, a bridegroom had gone to the graveyard on his wedding day and had disappeared. His bride, after enough time had passed, married another man. The moral of the story: nervous bridegrooms who drank too many toasts on their wedding day may find themselves toast. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please help me to reach my goal of 2,021 subs in 2021. Till midnight. Cheers. Pictures used in today's video, courtesy of Pix Here, that's PX Here, while the music was the classic old school Ghost Processional by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod. You know, I find it really hard to pronounce the word toasts. Toasts. Can't do it. When it comes to toasts, I'm toast.